Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to our video. So we're going to talk about the League invasions. I'm not going to do a video about the update because this is literally the only thing they're doing this update is turning on League invasions. And I'm going to explain to you, as far as I was able to understand, how this is going to work. And this explanation is most likely the best thing you're gonna get for the next 5 days because, as we'll get into it later, the attack phase or where leagues fight each other, but again, getting into that later, it's gonna happen in 5 days because the preparation phase will take 5 days. So yeah, League Invasions, you're gonna have access to them as soon as you're level 4 and you're in a league. Not sure what's up with that level 4, because I think you need to be higher at level 4 or at least level 4 to join a league in the first place, but whatever. All the players in the league will be able to access it. First of all, let's talk about the facilities. We're gonna have outposts, and we're gonna have facilities. So outposts are gonna be things that you're gonna be able to put heroes in. And they're gonna have a certain amount of capacity of heroes that can be put in. And this capacity is going to be able to be increased with the outpost level. So you're going to be able to level this up spending some certain resources, and the level on this is going to stay. So if your league gets a outpost that's going to be level 40, it's going to stay 40 forever, and that keeps increasing the capacity of heroes that you put. Now, each player, let's say, puts their best heroes in a certain outpost, and they can put yet again up to 10% of that outpost limit capacity. And the league leader is gonna, or a league officer is gonna pick 3 characters to be the defenders. Those characters are gonna be the face of the team, so to speak. They're gonna be representing the team. And they're gonna have their stats, and all the other heroes that are in that certain deck are gonna be used to buff those 3 characters that are chosen to defend that specific outposts and give them health and attack. Something that's very good, and I'm glad it's done this way, is that it only counts for base attack and base health. Because if it counted for total attack and total health, it would have destroyed so many builds in just small, because some leagues are gonna start demanding that you build characters with full attack and full health to buff specifically the league outposts. So it's just gonna be the base attack and base health of the heroes in that specific outpost. And as far as I'm aware, it's gonna be some certain modifier for the legendary characters, so the legendary characters give a bigger percentage, from what I'm understanding. Though this is gonna be very weird because you tend to not have legendary characters maxed out, and that's not too relevant, let's say, in soul rates, but here where they're gonna share their base attack and health, those are going to be things that do depend highly on their star rating. So legendary characters need to be a lot more efficient than gold characters, let's say, to be worth for most people, because you don't have them too often maxed out. Though I guess you can just drop your Brainiac in there. That's most likely 7 stars at this point, or stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yet again, you're going to have 3 teams that are going to be the defenders of that outpost. 3 characters that are going to be the defenders of that outpost, and those are going to be picked by an officer or the league leader. And then you're going to have all the other characters that are not going to see the light of the fight, but are going to passively buff your defending characters. And this is gonna be how it looks with percentage capacity on it, and you're gonna be able to lock those things. It says about it a bit later in the video when it comes to the phases, but you can, as an officer or leader, lock it at some point so the team composition in it remains the same, so nobody can change it. But those things are going to be able to be leveled, as I said, and as you level them up, they're going to increase their capacity, they might increase their bonuses they give to those certain heroes a bit, and they're going to unlock some modifiers. Now, I'm not 100% sure if those modifiers are going to be like guaranteed. Let's say you unlock level 1 and you get those 2, or you unlock level 1 or you get the choice between those 2 things. Because it seems to be, at least for the first thing here, things that are kind of similar but work in a different way. Like 5 starting power bars is going to boost very much the start of the fight, but if the enemy survives longer, then you're better off with power generation here. Then there's gonna be invulnerability. If dropping below 10% once per battle, We're not gonna go into the balancing of this or what is good or not. That's most likely a topic for another video, but this doesn't seem too good. But there's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna be able to do here. And the main question about this, which I haven't seen specified anywhere, I guess is this a choice or is this unlocked at that certain level? Where all of those limited choices, let's say we can pick 3 of them, or we can pick one of each level type of upgrades. I don't know, we're gonna see that. There's gonna be protective screen. You're basically gonna make them into, excuse me, into a raid boss, into a team of raid bosses, actually. Doubling the class advantage, like protective screen is gonna be pretty good, most likely hazardous is gonna be pretty good. Time pressure is most likely gonna be pretty good depending on how survivable some fights are. Though there's gonna be infinite combos. They did absolutely nothing to like balance the ability of players to do infinite combos with Batman the Drowned, for example. So there's some teams that are just not gonna get killed. The only question is how long you're gonna survive against it, though. There's yet again, you can put the dark side in there for bombardment. There's a lot of things that go into this, so I'm not gonna go too much into those buffs this time. I might come back to the subject later. And yeah, this shows basically the same buffs. I think it was a mistake adding this photo because here they talk about facilities. So facilities are going to be something that passively buffs your hero when it comes to attacking, as far as I understand. This is going to be yet again something that your league has to eventually upgrade, and it is going to remain upgraded at level that you get them, and each specific outpost is going to buff specific class characters. Something I don't really like that much is that they're pushing so much the class advantages and disadvantages because they're such a don't know, don't care mechanic until now. But now they're really trying to push it. For example, you have the metahuman thing. It's all about countering tech characters. I mean, not all of it, but most of it is about countering characters. And it's gonna be tech specific, as you can see, for the first few levels. And then the last 4 are gonna be for everybody. So for each laboratory, first 4 things here are gonna buff the metahuman specific characters. And then the next 4 are gonna buff, or the last 2, I don't remember exactly, are gonna buff your entire team. But yeah, there's gonna be things like increased armor pierce, 3 combo meter on blockhead, bro. That's bad. That's bad. Increased block effectiveness. I mean, we can only wait and see how it plays. Who knows? Maybe blocking is gonna be the best thing you can do in some league invasion fights, but I don't know, man. Doesn't seem that good. Armor pierce chance. Armor pierce damage. Dodge chance against tech. Oh boy, we haven't ever had dodge in Injustice Bubble, so I guess dodge means the enemy is just basically gonna hit a blind hit against you. True damage, we haven't had true damage either in Injustice Bubble. Those are concepts I'm familiar with from other games. Like true damage means that it can bypass pretty much anything. Not sure if it can bypass something like protective screen. But yeah, true damage is an interesting thing. If you guys play League of Legends, you know what true damage is, and you hate it. There's gonna be another example of a facility. This is gonna be a paranormal center. I guess this is for arcane characters. Oh, this is pretty cool because arcane characters don't have an advantage or a disadvantage against anybody, so they're gonna get bonuses versus everybody. Increased damage against any class, increased damage reduction against any class, true damage against any class. That's pretty nice. Increase maximum efficiency of combo meter, though only by 15. Again, a lot of those things are going to be a lot more relevant once we get to play this and get a feel of how it plays. There's going to be the agility thing here. Did they say arcane? Yeah, they said arcane. Again, the agility is going to take its time to counter the meta-human side of things. Increase fast attack. Bro, this is oh, can exceed the cap. Oh, would you take a look at that? That's not garbage, actually. Increase fast attack hit damage. And like this in Soul Raids is garbage, but And though you're gonna kind of fight bosses, but a lot of things are gonna be a lot more relevant since you're not getting that huge amount of attack from stored artifacts to count on. And there's gonna be the agility thing, yet again focusing on countering metahuman first of all. I'm really curious to see how much those specific counters against specific classes will really play into things. Though we'll see how it goes. Here we have some saving combo meters on using special. Chance to save combo after getting hit, bro. If you're getting hit, and it's a 50. Nah, I don't like this. Because if you're getting hit, first of all, you're doing something wrong. And if you're getting hit once, you're getting hit multiple times at least. So that 50% chance needs to trigger like 3 or 4 times in a row at least to make it count. And there's also gonna be some base supply type of deal. You're gonna slightly increase the efficiency of the outpost by spending some resources that you got here, and this thing specifically, the supply thing, only the supply thing, not the upgrade of the outposts thing, is gonna only repeat itself. And I think they wanted to put the outpost upgrade cost somewhere, but they yet again repeat this photo 2 times, the same as they repeated the photo higher, but this is gonna be able to be added before each of the league attack phases. And now we're gonna talk about the phases. So the phases are gonna be the preparation phase is gonna last 5 days. And you're gonna get set up everything that I talked about until now, and then you can lock and unlock things as you wish until the attack phase begins. Once the attack phase begins, you can no longer change your defensive lineup. And the attack phase will last 2 days, Saturday to Sunday, and during this phase you'll be able to fight the other league's bases. So it says your league gets four fights a day, and each fighting time lasts 3 hours. And then they say players should cooperate to defeat as many outposts as possible and attack at the same time. So I think 4 fights per day will most likely be 4 fights per league member, because it would be very weird to have only 4 fights for the entire goddamn league. You're like, oh, whose turn it is today to fight? Oh, it's Mike's turn. No, Mike is not gonna fight. He's got a 5 mil roster. Let the guy with 30 mil fights. That is just a bad system if it's gonna be 4 fights per league. And I think it's a wording mistake. I hope it's a wording mistake, because it would be miserable if the entire league had 4 fights in total and you'd have to decide who does them. I think it's gonna be 4 fights per player, and you're gonna attack those outposts. They say to attack simultaneously. I'm not really sure what exactly you're gonna achieve by that, but whatever. And you're gonna have for the defenders, healing is gonna be disabled, same as when we're fighting soul raid bosses. It would be quite frustrating if something constantly healed. They can't resurrect themselves, and attack and shields and summons are gonna be based on the base values of health, not the full health pool that they are sharing with all the characters. Bro, like imagine Darkseid sitting on a casual, let's say 20 million health, though this is too much. Bro, let's... Nah, I can't make the calculations right now. It's too many factors in there, but let's say Darkseid is sitting on 2 billion health and he summons casually a 2 billion health Parademon. So yeah, a Parademon is gonna scale with Darkseid's base amount of health that he has in his base form, and this is very good that they thought about that, because that would have been frustrating. Or Green Lantern Shield. Oh boy, you're gonna fight the Green Lantern team, and the Green Lantern Shield is gonna be something like, let's say 250 mil, and the enemy is gonna have unhittable until you get rid of that. That would also suck. So that's also not scaling with the total health. Effects that are applied to the whole roster are not used, except the case where one team of defenders contains all related heroes. This is weird. I don't know what they mean with the effects that apply to the whole roster, because the only things that I can think about is the Batman Ninja Harley Quinn giving attack to the Batman Ninja characters, or the Multiverse team being immune to armor pierce, because Multiverse Captain Cole isn't there. I mean, they're not that impactful. Maybe the armor pierce immunity is a bit impactful and they did it because of that. Who knows? Healing abilities and passive that affect the entire team only affect the hero with the ability or passive, not their teammates. I think this is for the attackers, because they said already that the healing is disabled for defenders. So your Atlantean Armor Aquaman is only gonna heal himself now, not the entire team. And artifacts in League Invasions have changes. Once you use an artifact in battle, it will take some time to recharge. So you can only use an artifact once per battle. I'm not sure how much time it will take. Like, are you gonna be able to use it in the next attack phase? Like, you play those 4 fights, unless you can't repeat an artifact in those 4 fights, but afterwards, can you, like, the next time when you get 4 fights, use that again? And we're gonna see how that goes. And then the division split is gonna be split the same way as Champions Arena, pretty much. In divisions, you're gonna get some points. You're gonna get 1 point for attacking an outpost for each 1% of the health you do. You're gonna get 25 points for defeating an outpost. So you're gonna get the 25 points for defeating it, and then on top of that, the 100 points for clearing 100% of the defender's health. You're gonna get 50 points for defeating all of them, plus the 100 points for the health, and plus the 25 each for defeating them. And you're gonna get 0.5 points for each 1% health left on your defenders. It's pretty good that they're also putting a bigger focus on your defensive team actually surviving. And you're also gonna gain points based on how long it took an opposing league to defeat all your outposts. This is weird because, I mean, speedruns are kind of fun if you're doing it for the fun of it, but if you're kind of obliged to speedrun something, it's gonna be kind of weird. Though, yet again, it doesn't really affect you, it affects the person who's attacking. So, yeah. The only thing you get from speedrunning it is the opponent getting less points, I guess. Though it's a lot of points. And what if you get those 300 points by default if, let's say, you don't have outposts killed? Like, if you have one character with sitting with 1k health in one outpost and that's the only outpost alive, you technically still have outpost standing, so you're gonna get the 300 points at the end of the defense phase, I guess. But yeah, now getting into the divisions type of deal, this is very interesting. It's gonna work in 4 splits, and you're gonna earn those rewards at the end of the attack splits. It's yet again weird because they said it's gonna happen around the weekends, and you get like 2 splits in a day and 2 splits in the other day, or do you get the first 2 splits in 1 week and the other 2 splits in the next week? But yeah, based on where you are when that happens, you're gonna get some relatively garbage rewards. I mean, you're gonna get Reforges, and in the highest division, you're gonna get that 3rd year bonus Reforge and stuff like that. But the other things are not too relevant here. This is basically your daily rewards for playing Arena, a bit better than that. Daily mission of actually playing this. And in the 4th split, which is gonna be the last one, based on where you are in a certain division, you're gonna get those things. And those things are definitely something we're talking about. Because, first of all, this is going to be artifact reforges, and it's going to be artifact reforges even for the lowest tier. So if you're getting like 9 artifact reforges per week, let's say, if all of it happens in a week, if it's throughout the course of a month, I don't know. But 9 artifact reforges every week is pretty damn good, actually. And it's the good ones. They're not giving you trash artifact reforges like the brown ones. So this is actually gonna promote a bit more interactivity with the system that's in the game for 2 years, but nobody uses because those things are way too rare. If people don't pay money on the game, until this point, except for maybe one on a login event at some point, people are not seeing those reforges. They're only seeing the brown ones, and even those very rarely. So the reforge type of deal is good. The talent reroll is good because I don't play Arena personally. The question mark is a very big question mark. Is this a chance for an Azure artifact? Because if it's an Azure artifact, you can take that and keep it warm, put it in the warm place. Maybe you can put it in your house because it's pretty much useless. And people have been complaining about getting Azure artifacts from league rates for ages, because there's no point to them anymore. They're kind of all garbage, and people have too many materials and all the Azure artifacts. But if that's a chance to get any artifact in the game, that's going to be pretty good. And also, when we take a look at those boxes, you see that question mark purple thing, and you see the chances. In the first division, you're gonna get a 100% chance to get legendary character shards. I'm not sure how many of them we're only gonna see after this gets introduced into the game, but I suppose it's gonna be 200 of them for random legendary. I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but hey, it's gonna be 100 in the first division, so people are gonna have a pretty good reason to fight over it. And the way they are doing rewards here to promote by way of increasing the chance for a legendary character is something that they came up with as an idea in a previous video, so I'm pretty happy with that. The difference in chances is a bit too much as you go from 25 to 40 to 100. So there's gonna be some rough fighting for that Division 1 champion. But yeah, those are gonna be the rewards. Again, big factor in this is if this can be any artifacts or only Azure artifacts. But yeah, all that being said, that's gonna be kind of it about the league type of deal. I'm not sure how you're gonna find leagues to attack though. They didn't really specify that. It's not gonna be a 1v1 scenario where you're pitted against this, or is it gonna be? Maybe you choose your target or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna get targets, how you're gonna choose targets, or if you can even choose targets. I think that's what they fail to specify, or what I fail to understand. So let me know in the comments if you got any ideas about that. But all of that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and let me know in the comments what you think about this, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!